New Bears head coach Ben Johnson had his introductory press conference today, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not one to usually get caught up in hype. I told you guys I'm not gonna allow myself to get excited, but it's hard not to feel the tone that was set by this. We're gonna talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host, Sarah Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for y'all. Hey, listen, for however much a press conference can get you hype for a season, Ben Johnson killed it today. Not only did Ben Johnson do what I'm calling setting the tone, Ben Johnson absolutely commanded the room, gave straightforward answers, and literally did not shy away from anything that was thrown at him in this press conference. And I know that there are going to be some people like, damn, Bears fans are getting all excited about a press conference. When you come from Matt Eberflus being your head coach and the way in which he handled every press conference basically terribly. The only press conference that Matt Eberflus handled well was after we drafted Caleb Williams. When you look at that, it's definitely a different tone already, right? Giving answers, really kind of not just spewing the company line, not just saying what needed to be said to hype and rile people up, not just doing that, not shying away from anything. You know what the most impressive thing in this press conference to me was when he addressed Rome, Caleb, and the other Bears players that were there in attendance and addressed them directly by looking at them and addressing them directly. I tell you what, I said it before, I'm not going to allow myself to get too excited until we're on the football field winning football games, but this felt different. This felt different. Now, we've had coaches before give great introductory press conferences and suck. So, I'm not saying that this is going to, but it's just when you talk about wanting a leader of men, Ben Johnson not only displayed that in this press conference, you know what else he displayed? He showed that the Chicago media ain't going to bully him around. It's not going to happen. And that's what I love to see. That's what I love to see. Ben Johnson made an impression today. Not only upon the Bears fans that are watching, but as far as the players, but also just the people who've lost faith in the Chicago Bears, right? He seems driven. He seems self-confident. And you know what? He seems like somebody who really wanted to be here. And I get it. You should say, oh, well, all head coaches would like for the Bears to have somebody that, despite the turmoil going around this franchise, wanted to be here in Chicago. And every time when the little clip that came out yesterday came out, I talked about how much it really did seem like he wanted to be here. This press conference brought all that together even more. Even more. It's just his comments on Caleb Williams, everything. Love the way that Ben Johnson addressed things today. Absolutely love the way that he addressed things today. Now, we did get some details coming out of this. So it looks like Hank Fraley will not be joining the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson's offensive staff. Ben Johnson actually did say he does not plan to pluck away coaches from Detroit staff to come to Chicago. So take that for what you will as well. But I'll tell you what, also the fact that he threw some jokes out there to the Packers, saying, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. Gotta love that. So not only did he come in and display the leadership that we want to see, the leader of men quality, He came in here and displayed the ability to handle himself in the press conference and not back down from tough questions. Then you troll the cheeseheads on top of all of that. Hey, man, I'm telling you right now. Evie in here. Yep, accountability is key. 100%. 100%. This is what you love to see. Like I said, in whatever way you can win an introductory press conference, he won that. He did that. He did the deal. And you know what? I hope that also, seeing how many of his former players have already turned against him. You had David Montgomery come out and say Ben Johnson was more worried about the Bears' job, all that type of dumb shit. I hope that he comes out here and he kills the Detroit Lions. So listen, I'm telling y'all, this felt different. And this feels weird as a Bears fan, to be 100% honest with you. To have somebody that comes in here and you actually feel it like, hey, I'm low-key believing this motherfucker. I'm believing in the hype. I'm not going to let myself get too excited because, again, like I said, I need to see what's going to happen on the football field. But that's just me protecting my own self. That's not nothing against Ben. Ben Johnson impressed everything. You know what I also love that he said as far as the offense? You know what? He said we're ripping it down to the studs. And it needs to be ripped down from the studs. It absolutely needs to be. He said this when asked about Caleb Williams. He said this: modern football in the NFL is quarterback driven. That is no secret. You can look at analytics right now. Quarterback success is a higher predictor of winning and losing than turnover ratio, which has been for 20 plus years. That's changed. There's no doubt that Caleb played a large component into my decision. He is phenomenal talent that had, and as many quarterbacks do, an up and down rookie year. Laying out the groundwork for those people who've been hating on it, right? Hating on Caleb, looking at Jaden Daniels, saying this: where I see my role as a supporter of him. The offense will be calibrated with him in mind. There's not simply a dropping of a previous playbook down on the table and starting there. No, we're ripping this thing down to the studs, and we're going to build it up with him first and foremost, and then with the pieces around him next. That is the thing that I've been most excited about with Ben Johnson, is that he is going to build the system around the skill set of the players that we have here. Shane Waldron came in with a predetermined system that saw Cole Kmet get phased out. Period. Matt Nagy, I mean, you can say what you will about Nagy. Like, it is what it is. Luke Getsy, the fuck was that, right? So Ben Johnson coming in here already knowing he has to rip this offense down to its studs and rebuild. That's the thing. Ben Johnson impressed, and like I said, every way and shape that you can in an introductory press conference. He just did it, man. And you got to give him love for that, because this is, as much as it sounds silly, that's an important part of winning over Chicago right now from where we are. This look, and I think some of you guys will admit this as well. Where are your feelings at when the season ended for the Bears, even after a win against the Packers, till right now? Where is it now, right? It's in a much different place already. We got to put in that work. Shout out to Darnell. You got to put in that work. You got to put in the work. And Ben Johnson seems like somebody who's ready to put in that work. He also talked about his decision to go back to the Lions for a year. He said this: a year ago was a similar situation in terms of being ejected from the playoffs prematurely, how we saw it. And as my emotions got better of me at that point, I decided that I wanted to come back and take another shot at that in Detroit. This year, during the offseason and summer, I was able to do a lot more thinking and go through the process in my head of what it would look like as a head coach. And I just felt a lot more comfortable making that jump this time, regardless of how the season ended in Detroit. Listen, I'll tell you what. I feel something. Again, this is another comment that makes me feel even better about Ben Johnson. The fact that Ben Johnson could have taken a head coach job last year, and he said, hey, it didn't sit right with me the way that our season ended. We needed to go back out there and do it again. But then he found a level of peace in that to make sure he's ready to go to the next challenge. This is a guy who's not going to settle for complacency. And that's what we've had too long in Chicago. It's coaches that settle for complacency. That's not what we're getting here. That's not what we're getting here. We're getting a guy who's going to literally push, fight, claw, and scratch to make sure that this team is a better team. Listen, I have never seen a press conference from a Bears head coach that literally it just got better and better as it went on. It got better and better, or as the old people in church say, gooder and gooder. Also saying about his hiring, saying this, it's going to be critical that I hire people that have some experience in here in this. Let me say that again. Hold on. Let's run that back one more time. Ben Johnson, it's going to be critical that I hire people that have some experience here in this league who I can lean on and trust. Defensively, there are a number of guys I want to talk to, and really it will be predicated on who we decide to go with and what the defense will look like. Come on, man. Listen, Matt Eberflus came in here surrounded him by a lot of people that ain't never did the job before. Ben Johnson saying, hey, no, I need people on here that I can lean on that have had experience in this league. I need that. People that I can trust, that I can go to for information, that I can go to that's going to hold me accountable. Matt Eberflus was a yes man surrounded by yes men. How can you get better with that? You can't. Ben Johnson's coming in here. He doesn't want yes men around him. He wants people that's going to hold him accountable. How can you hold your players accountable if you're not willing to be held accountable? That's where Matt Eberflus lost this locker room. Because he was somebody who didn't hold himself accountable and nobody around the motherfucker held him accountable. But Ben Johnson is not selling him for that at all. That is what you need from somebody who you want to be a leader of men. I tell y'all, like I said, Ben Johnson killed it today, man. He killed it today. And this goes for another step in solving this problem that we've had with the Chicago Bears for so long. Again, he has to prove it. It's easy to say. I have a saying. I say this. Anybody can fix their mouth to say anything. It's about putting in the work to back up those words. But I tell you what, I have, as of right now, I have confidence that Ben Johnson is going to back up the words that he laid out here with this press conference. That's it. Great comment here from Crimson. Always be excited, but take care with expectations. Great point. And I'm going to say this as I said it in every daily episode since we signed him. He's still going to be a rookie head coach. He's still going to potentially go through rookie head coach mistakes. Don't do what y'all did to Caleb is and believe in the hype and think that meant that we weren't going to go through normal rookie mistakes. He's going to go through some normal rookie head coach mistakes. But you know what? I trust him to figure it the fuck out. That's what I do right now. Man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And I hope that this continues. I hope that it continues to just build up hope, because this is a franchise that has had no hope for far too long. No hope for far too long. So this is a first step in rebuilding that. It's a first step. Now we got to get to it. This ain't the it though, right? I don't want to rest in this and act like we've done it. We ain't accomplished shit yet. We signed our coach. Great. He got to go fill out his staff. Great. But we ain't accomplished shit yet. Ryan Poles got to get to work. Ryan Poles got to take his smiley, happy, big ass and go and find some offensive linemen. You got to go out there and find some studs in this draft, because last year's draft was not his best. But this is a good first step that we're now taking that step into this offseason and hoping things are going to start changing for this squad. That's what we got to hope for. Accountability, expectations, all that matters. And Ben Johnson, somebody who's not going to shy away from either. Welcome to Chicago, Ben Johnson. It's very simple here. You win, you fight hard, you have a team that has an identity, we going to rock with you. It's very simple here in Chicago. It's very, very simple. We gonna rock with you till the cows come home. As long as you out there, you holding yourself accountable, you're holding your players accountable, and we're fighting. A team that has some fight. That team, over the last 9 weeks of that season, did not have fight. So, hey, Ben, you did a great job. Ryan, you did a great job hiring him. You opened the bag up. He's the 7th highest paid head coach in the NFL right now. That's something that we've never done before. Now, what we got to do, go out there and get the shit done. That's it. And see what's going to happen there. Polls, get to fucking work, y'all. Love you guys. Chi-Town up, bear down. Make sure y'all following us at Chi Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, 773-242-9336. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We'll see. Hold on. BJ, the last dragon of the NFC North, got that glow. That is hilarious. All right, y'all. See y'all on the day.